you're making a lot of proper Western, you know,
Right.
baking recipes. Uh, but suddenly there's kheer shows up, and then also there's parathas, right? How did that, you know, um, why'd you make that choice? Like, how did that come to you?
Uh, so this page for me is like very personal, right? I don't. It's not just a business for me. I'm not just trying to make. I'm not trying to. It's not just a career. I don't think I could do something. I don't think I could approach this in a way where it's just a career and I don't really put my emotion to it. So it's really personal, and it. I want what I feel to actually dictate what I do. And so baking, like I said, it was nice, right? Baking was like the friend thing that you, or like something intimate that you created yourself between
Mhm.
something. It's something that I found myself, and I really dived into it. But there were a lot of times where I would make something and my parents wouldn't like it, and I loved it, and I think a lot of people would appreciate that flavor, but they didn't grow up with that flavor, and it just
Right.
didn't click
Sure.
like
Sure.
me. Yeah. So I made a lemon tart, and I liked it a lot, and I could eat that like every day if I could,
Yeah.
but they didn't like it. So then that kind of like upset me inside. I was like, I want to make foods that can connect me more with my parents and people like me, and also things that I grew up, nostalgia and all that. And
Yeah.
so then
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm gonna like try to divide this. I'm gonna sometimes take a break from baking and get into this, because I don't feel like it was a holistic approach, and I felt like I was missing a big component of my life, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted it to be as holistic as possible. I want to make sure that I'm incorporating my faith into it, which is a big part of me. Then also my family, and where I'm from and all that, and also where I go to and where I'm living and all that.
Mm.
Like for example, America does mean living here does mean something to me. I've met a lot of amazing people, and I've created a lot of memories, and so this place has given me a lot too, and I don't want to let that go. But there's also so much that's been given to me living in Lahore and from my parents and all that. So it's just that idea that I wanted this to be as holistic as possible, and I still do. So it's like I'm trying to balance that and give a holistic approach to
Yeah.
basically, yeah.
Were you prepared for the sort of reaction? Because the Barata video comments, they struck like that different sort of chord with people.
It was it was very different when I posted on TikTok and everywhere else. People were like, "Oh, my ummi used to make this. This reminds me of my ummi or my dadi or
Yeah.
some," and it just opened this idea of like I when I posted it, the lemon tart example, people were like, "Yeah, makes me feel a certain way." Some people did say that their family used to make it, but I couldn't relate to that on a personal level. I could relate to the emotion, and on a certain level, you can relate, and you can relate to emotions, and you can relate to the happiness and whatnot. So
Yeah.
that's really nice. But this was a very personal one, and it was just like some people were really happy they get to see something they grew up eating on screen, and I think that's very important because when I came here, like I said, I didn't have a lot of confidence. It just like went down the hill and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I used to see people that gave me more confidence. Like I really like Riz Ahmed, for example. Like the actor and rapper. I listen to his songs and his icing. I'm like, this is a really cool guy. And some of his songs are just really really good, and they really hit a chord with you. Or some of his movies. He has this movie called Mogul Mowgli, and I watched it
Mm.
and I was like, this is really good stuff. And you really relate to it, and then you feel confident in yourself because you see somebody like you doing something that's meaningful, so and I think it validates your it validates who you are, and it makes you feel like I'm valued, or the things that I grew up with are valued. You don't feel like you're invisible.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I feel like that's how I feel like that's how maybe it made some people feel, and I wanted to give that feeling as well. I wanted to be like, okay. And the thing is that, yeah, so I wanted to present that. Basically, I wanted to present the paratha in a way that I grew up eating. And I was like, to do it justice, I have to be very honest with it. This is how I see it. This is how I grew up with it. And if that's how you relate, if you relate to it as well, then that's good. But I think that that's, yeah,
I think,
it had complete, yeah,
yeah, there's a lot about, what in your whole direction. And it's something that I've sort of started to fall into given all the places I've lived. It's the identity question, right? It's
right,
where is home, who am I, where am I from, that sort of stuff. And I think that's sort of perhaps something that happens with your Barata video when people are looking at, very well made food videos, yours, others, everything. It's you, and then there's this girl who makes um Indian food, vegetarian food. She's commented on your videos too, Miss Spice or something. I
Yeah,
forget.
Rooted in Spice. Yeah, she's really nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Her videos are also like they're proper traditional stuff, right?
yeah, yeah.
It's not westernized at all. It's none of
Right.
that. And the videos are also very clean, well made, very economically made. And they get the point across in a really great way. So I love watching those two. I think that's the point because you don't expect to see yourself or your culture or your identity on this overwhelmingly Western slash white platform. So I
Right.
think that's what happens when you're brought up. I don't know why I'm explaining to you what happens with, with
No,
your
no,
video.
you wording it perfectly. So, you know, it's exactly what it is.
Yeah.